pantalones gratis
con Maccheroni Bologna.
Esto es Los Pantalones Libres de Podcast.
The Pants Free Podcast. Pantaloni Libero.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Pants Free Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Pants Free Pod, and on Facebook we're also Pants Free Pod. Joining me is a gentleman who came all the way from England. His mother gave birth to him and released him from her nest and gave him to us. And we adopted him, and here he is, Nick J. Miles.
Good morning. I'm wondering if you're using the word nest as a metaphor for my mother's vagina.
I wasn't really thinking about... Now I am, though. I can't stop thinking about your mother's vagina.
See how it grabs you and pulls you in?
By the way, Mom, don't listen to this one.
I have some exciting news I wanted to
Oh, man. You're not wearing pants again?
Well, no, yes and no. So here's the deal. I am not wearing pants right now, but because when we do the Pants Free Podcast, sometimes I come from meetings and I have, clearly when you go out to a meeting at, for instance, the Oregon Oregon Museum of Science and Industry, or at somebody's office, you have to wear pants. Well, you don't have to, but they don't like it if you don't wear pants. And so because we only have a short amount of time in which we can talk on the Pants Free Podcast, I have actually purchased a pair of tearaway pants. So when it's time for the podcast, I can just rip them off.
I need to see video evidence of this. I think that would be a perfect video to post. I would post it on our Pants Free YouTube page.
All right. Nick and his tearaway pants. Time for the Pants Free Podcast.
That's a really good idea. And in fact, you're the same with me. I find that people on conference calls, this is the thing I've learned in business, is that it's okay to not be wearing pants. I guess it's not okay for you to tell people you're not wearing pants in meetings.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's so weird. By the way, if you're a YouTube fan, I do a video every Tuesday on my YouTube channel, Me Marconi. And this week, Nick, I know you watched it, and I have a weird family, and I guess one of my family members, quote-unquote family members, is a singer who takes pop songs and turns them country. I don't know why you would do that, but okay. Yeah. And he wants to be on America's Got Talent, and he comes to me and thinks that I can help him somehow. Like I have a connection into the entertainment industry or something, and it's very, very awkward and weird. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's meet my awkward cousin on this week's video. It's fantastic.
I don't think personally, I feel like there's enough country music as it is worldwide, but there you go.
Right. But I think he's just, he can't be does he look like me? I don't think he does. I'm not really sure. We're cousins by law, perhaps, maybe by marriage. I hear pounding on your keyboard right now.
Pounding it.
Yeah, you're pounding it. And by the way, we have a fantastic sponsor, as you know, if you're a fan of the podcast. It's Dave's Killer Bread, the best bread on earth. Nick, you just bought some Oregon grain.
Yes, I'm experimenting. I usually buy the sprouted grains, but I decided that I was going to get a bit crazy and go for the Oregon grains just to change things up a little bit.
What a nutball you are. That's... So, and there's really endless possibilities when you think about bread. Like, is there anything it can't do? I submit to you there is not. Because I have tried to think of things, and I'm like, nope, bread could probably do that. Cinnamon toast, delicious. French toast, oh my God. Dave's Killer Bread does it all. It's an all-in-one bread series. Subscribe now at daveskillerbread.com. Just say no to bread on drugs.
Here's the latest news from around the world, too, right in your own backyard.
So, Nick, there are a lot of things in the news, and we cover a few stories each week. It's This Week in Pants Free News, and you are a trained professional, I understand.
Trained by monkeys. Would you like some news headlines?
Yeah, what do you have in your news?
Well, this story I think I've seen before, but not with a baby. But supposedly, doctors have cured the HIV, the HIV, the AIDS.
Yeah, HIV, baby. Congratulations. You don't have the HIVs.
So this lady was pregnant. She goes into premature labor in a small rural hospital. She hadn't known previously that she was HIV infected, but when she had HIV, the baby had HIV, obviously discovered this. They started the baby on drugs, and now Magic
Johnson?
MagicNotHaveHIV.com.
No, I think if you get disappeared from HIV, it's called Magic Johnson.
It is?
Yeah, because he's the only one on Earth. He was cured from HIV. This baby is cured from HIV. I wonder if the baby can play basketball, or if not having HIV is the only thing the baby has in common with Magic.
You think the baby can jump now?
I hope it has a jump shot, because...
Jumping Duncan.
And the other thing is, this baby, it's supposed to be like a miracle.
Right.
I mean, is there, besides Magic Johnson, has there ever been another person, a human, that has gotten rid of the HIV?
Yeah, see, there's supposedly, this isn't the first story I've heard, and that's why I mentioned that at the beginning, that I've heard of other people who have been cured of the HIV.
And are they still alive?
Yeah, so supposedly a French guy found himself HIV
that
positive.
Doesn't count. We know French people aren't real.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, is no matter what this baby does, I mean, could you imagine this baby grows up, it gets depressed about its nickname, the HIV baby, and makes a bunch of reckless decisions over its lifetime and contracts HIV? I believe it's our fault.
Yes.
We gave this baby the HIV back.
Exactly.
It's the news! It's the news!
North Korea said that it's cutting off the hotline with the United States military in South Korea that had called the truce to the war in the 1950s, and now they're threatening to attack us, apparently, with smaller and lighter nukes.
You know, what I like is that President Obama called Kim Jong-un to try to, let him realize that not all black men have pink hair after meeting with Dennis Rodman. Because they hung out, and I guess Kim Jong-un thinks Dennis Rodman's cool. Why was he over there?
Because he can be. I don't know.
I mean, that's weird, right?
I'd love to go to North Korea because, supposedly it gets really weird. Like, you go into some sort of restaurant and they put out all this food, like there's going to be hundreds of people there, and then you're the only one eating, and it's kind of weird.
Sorry, North Korea. Your nuclear missile scare, it's scary and everything, but not as scary as Clay Aiken with a beard. Did you see those pictures of Clay Aiken on the internet with the beard?
Yeah, no one needs that.
What is going on?
I actually thought he was incapable of growing one, but there you go. I
didn't think he was a real... I mean, he's like one of those claymation characters. Ha ha, claymations, you get it? I accidentally made that, Nick. You don't have to groan. God. Just keep pounding your desk.
Talk about the TSA. I don't want you to imagine badly educated, overweight people in poorly fitting uniforms. The TSA is a government agency that has a major responsibility in this country and should not be mocked.
Right. I even have. This is how much I love the TSA. I have a TSA setting on my massage chair.
Because full body cavity search?
Well, yeah, they go up one leg, and then they check to see if your pants are fitting correctly. Right? That's how it works. Right. I've even had a TSA agent sniff my shoes.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd, but whatever they're into, I'm cool with it. I'm open. I'm loose. You know what I mean?
Have you ever had them do the new check that they're doing, where they use their tongue?
Oh, between your toes? That's fun.
Yeah.
But the thing, so I understand, now you can have, there's new rules with the TSA, and you can have small knives on flights, like a little...
Small knives, baseball bats, golf clubs, and other sporting goods.
Why would you need a baseball bat as a carry-on, is my question.
Because often it doesn't fit in a suitcase or in the luggage, and you have to pay for it separately. So if you need to take a baseball bat because you're going to play baseball, at some sporting event, you can often carry it on. So
are we getting back to, the normalcy of whatever this society is now?
No, because you still have to urinate before you go through the machine to make sure you don't have excess liquid on board.
Oh, I see. Well, so if the metal detector goes off when you're going through the checkpoint, you just say, "Oh no, it's cool. It's just a knife."
Yeah.
Finally, they're getting back to the party, and that's what I always look for when it comes to TSA.
Yes, they are, and sometimes I have problems with the TSA. At Austin Airport is a specific airport that I have problems with them at.
They hate you, don't they?
No, they're a-holes at Austin. Everywhere else, I love them. In fact, I know some TSA agents.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you spent evenings with them, like chatting about the ins and outs of what TSA life?
No. They were in the same GED course as I was in community college.
Oh, there you go.
Hugo Chavez is dead.
Oh, yay! I mean, yay!
I don't know. I mean, for all the weirdo. I mean, this guy was definitely on one end of the whacked out scale, but for all the weird stuff, I think he had some interesting, points. I mean, they call him a danger, and he was a bit crazy, and he did some crazy stuff, but at the same time, I sort of admired the guy.
Well, I was just upset because he didn't even get a chance to do a Harlem Shake video before he died.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty sick since the end of the year with the old the Big C.
Yeah, and it's funny, though, people don't really know about it. He's a loon. I mean, Nick could probably name a million things that he's done, but little things that people don't know about him. He was an amazing drummer, and he made the best grilled cheese. Nobody ever knew that.
Right.
But what's one thing you can point out that Hugo Chavez did that you're like, hey, this guy,
His sort of nationalization of Venezuelan or, foreign assets in Venezuela. So to sort of explain it to people that don't understand maybe the business end of things, you go to Venezuela and you start a company like an arm, let's say you're Nike, and you go and start Nike in Venezuela, and you start selling it in stores, and you make the shoes there, and then you sell them, and you build a business, and then one day Venezuela comes in and says, this is a national asset of Venezuela, we're taking it. So he used to do that, nationalizing companies, just sort of take over control of them if they were in his country.
Wow. Could you re-explain that again, but this time use a pizza?
When news breaks, we're the first there to mock it.
Facebook's planning its first major change to its news feed since it launched in 2006. Now, according to some reports, we could see multiple news feeds based on categories, such as Instagram and music and that sort of thing.
Isn't one news feed on Facebook bad enough?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to have more and more problems with Facebook and things I don't particularly like about it.
I always think Facebook would be so much better without a news feed.
Yeah, what else has Facebook got but the news feed?
If you had a change for Facebook, what would you do? One of the things I would change about Facebook is I would take away, I would be able to block or say no to all game requests. Because I've never
but you can do that. I've done that.
How?
It takes a little work. You can go into game. There's a section that you can go into and you can block them.
Will you please make a YouTube video? Because that's how I learn everything.
Yeah, that's how I learn everything too. You know what I used YouTube today for is to work out how to stop programs automatically booting when I boot my Mac.
Oh God, I hate that. You have that problem with Mac?
Yeah. It starts it starts Skype and it starts other things. And I only use Skype when I talk to you, and so I don't have it running all the time. And because I have a lot of software that runs on my machine, it's tough.
And by that, of course, you mean porn.
That's all the news from this week, Pants Freestyle.
Oh my God. Thank you, Nick Miles, and you can follow us on Twitter at PantsFreePod or Facebook PantsFreePod, or listen to us at PantsFreePod.com. There's kind of a theme going here. I think you're...
Yes, and the one thing I would like to point out is just a little disclaimer there. Although we encourage it, it's not necessary to listen pants-free.
Right. You can listen with pants on, and we're not going to judge you.
We may judge you.
Well, I was going to say, I don't care if you have pants on or not, but I will judge you if you're wearing jorts.
I'd like to see you without your pants off. Please send photographs.
No, don't. For now, I'm Marconi with Nick Miles saying...
I don't have pants on, and I don't have hair on either.
You're wigless?
Below the waist.
Pantalones a libero.
Hands Free Podcast.
Hands Free Podcast.
Hands Free Podcast.
Hands Free Podcast.